entering line item comments and instructions is next. Like entering serial numbers, click the blue up arrow to enter any number of comment lines or instructions for this item. Order and shipment type documents can print this information if desired. A comment, for example, can be instructed to print on an order or invoice for the customer to view, where an instruction can be printed on a shipping document for internal purposes, possibly for the shipping clerk to view. Then accept or select the ship via code to be used for this item. The default comes from the customer settings or from the template code. You can then enter a tracking number, such as a waybill number. The system then displays the original order quantity in the event an existing order is recalled to observe or edit it. Next, you can observe the quantity that has already been shipped to date if the selected order has already been partially shipped. When entering a new order, the quantity fields appear 0. If an existing order contains one or more shipments, the drill indicates that the shipment can be recalled for review. The quantity committed field indicates the quantity of the item that is to be reserved for this order. In this case, the system defaults to the quantity ordered because the default quantity committed setting is specified within OE options. However, some or all non-shipped items can be committed for this order, so the items are reserved and not available for someone else to purchase. The completed column identifies if the detail line is completely shipped. If the quantity shipped is less than the quantity ordered, and yes is entered here, the system does not allow future items on this detail line to be shipped. If the items on this detail line have not been fully shipped, typically this field remains as no. The exceptions are the customer has decided to cancel the remaining items they have on order, or the item is no longer available. The manufacturer's item number field displays the manufacturer's item number if one was entered instead of the internal inventory item number. Remember, the supplier's item number could have been entered for the fluorescent desk lamp rather than the A11030 item code. The same is true for the customer item number in the next field. Customer item numbers can be entered. If so, that number appears here. Or you can manually enter their item number here. An order or invoice printed form showing your customer's item number rather than your internal item number can be created, providing an additional service to your customer. If the item being entered is defined as non-stock, the non-stock clearing account defined within inventory control appears here. However, the account can be changed. The last field is where optional fields for various inventory items can be selected or entered. There are 2 optional field courses available. One focuses on products in the Financial Management Suite, and the other focuses more on the Operations Management products. Please visit sagesoftwareuniversity.com to attend or purchase either or both of these courses. If the field type selected is miscellaneous, then only a few fields need to be populated. The best way to show this is by changing to the zoom view. When displaying the zoom view, notice how the available fields are significantly less than when entering a normal item. The miscellaneous charge code is first. The description for the miscellaneous charge displays, and then the amount of the miscellaneous charge can be entered. If there is a discount amount or discount percent, enter the value. The extended amount factors any entered discounts. Like regular item details, you can optionally enter any comments or instructions. You might even prefer using this zoom mode by pressing the F9 function key for all entered item detail lines. It's a terrific way to view all the fields on one window rather than having to scroll left or right using a container. The buttons at the bottom of the window indicate some global settings. For example, the Item Tax button. Select this button to verify or change the default tax information for the item detail line highlighted. If the tax class codes were created correctly, it's possible the tax settings may never have to be changed for the specific item. Selecting it, however, displays the tax authorities that apply to this customer and item. In the example here, this item customer combination shows that both the state and county portion of the tax gets calculated. If this is incorrect for this particular situation, possibly because a taxable customer is purchasing merchandise that he plans to resell, change the tax class so the system calculates the correct tax amount. Modifying the tax class code information is only for the highlighted item, and the item on this order only. The default settings for this customer and item combination returns after the order is posted. Therefore, if the wrong tax information is showing as a default, make the change permanent within either the tax table, the item, or the customer, wherever the problem originates. The Component Items button is accessible if the selected item being added to the order is a bill of material or kit item. For example, let's add another item to the order, item A2, image 1500G, and select bill of material number 1. Entering a quantity of 2, for example, when the Components button is clicked, the system displays all the component items that comprise of this item, as well as their associated quantities to make the quantity ordered. If the item being ordered is a kit item, such as item A19000, the Components button, when selected, additionally displays the quantity in stock of each of the component items. To display the quantity in stock, highlight the component item. The quantity in stock appears in the gray area at the lower portion of the window. The Ship All button can be selected to instantly ship all the possible items entered on the order. This is typically used when recalling a previously saved sales order, rather than individually having to select each item to indicate the shipped quantity. Even after selecting this button, a specific detail line can be edited if one or more of the items are not available for shipment. Possibly there are several dozen line items on the order where only one can't be shipped yet. The bottom portion of the window contains another row of buttons. These buttons are visible from any page. Select the Post button when the order is ready to be posted, or optionally when the items are ready to ship or invoice. Click the Delete button to remove the order entirely. Of course, the order has to be added first before it can be removed. To delete a specific line item, highlight the line item and press the Delete key. The History button can be selected to inquire on previous purchases from this customer. For example, let's assume your customer has informed you that they want to purchase the same desk lamp they purchased last time, but they don't remember the model number or description. Click the History button to view the item information for a specific period and year range, and even sorted by item number rather than customer. Let's say you want to know which customers have purchased your desk lamp item number A11030. Simply enter the item number and click the blue Go button. Accpac displays all the sales orders where this item exists for all customers. This inquiry window also provides a further drill down into the details of a particular document by highlighting a detail line and selecting the Details button. This shows the invoice information as well as any associated documents, such as credit notes and payments that have been made that relate to the document. The Prepayment button provides the ability to immediately enter a customer payment while entering the order. Possibly your customer wants to put a deposit on the items they are purchasing. Selecting this button begins a subset of the Accounts Receivable Receipt Entry window. Assuming the appropriate rights have been given to the user, an existing receipt batch can be selected to enter the prepayment, or if no receipt batch exists, create a new batch. As with normal receipts, accept or enter the batch date. The system defaults to the date Accpac was started. Next, enter the appropriate bank code and the appropriate deposit number. Then enter the payment code that references the appropriate payment method. Then enter the payment amount. The top right corner displays the amount due, so if the customer wants to pay the entire amount, that amount is known. Once entered, click the Add button. The Customer page displays the default settings from the customer profile within Accounts Receivable and/or from the selected template code. If it's known at the beginning of an order that one or more customer settings need to be changed, it's best to come to this page first and make the changes before entering any detail lines. Order entry defaults to the customer settings defined here for each detail line created. The Taxes page identifies the customer side of the Taxes settings. Earlier, tax settings were discussed for items using the Item Tax button on your order page. The Taxes page here identifies the tax settings for the customer side of the transaction. The system analyzes both the item and customer tax settings to determine if an item is taxable, and if so, what the tax rate is. The default tax settings can be changed for this order if necessary. Again, if it is known that the order requires a specific customer tax setting, it is best to make the changes here first before entering detail lines. Otherwise, each detail line requires the change. Any tax changes made only affect this order. The Optional Fields page is where any order type optional fields can be assigned. Optional fields are discussed in the Sage Accpac Optional Fields courses. Please visit sagesoftwareuniversity.com for more information about the courses. The Sales Split page displays those salespeople that may earn commission on this order. Up to 5 salespeople per sales order can be assigned. The default salespeople listed, if any, come from the customer profile within Accounts Receivable, or from the customer's ship-to address if one is selected. If changes are made, be sure that the total percentage between all the salespeople equals 100%. The Rates page displays the exchange rate information for this customer if multi-currency is being used. The system defaults to the exchange rate as specified within Common Services for the date of the order. The exchange date and/or rate displayed can be changed. Any changes made here only affect this order. The Totals page displays the overall order total as well as any discounts and tax calculations. Overall order comments can be entered at the top here, but can be printed on order type documents if elected. The Less Details discount displays any line item discounts that may have been entered. Where the Less Order discount field is where an overall order discount can be entered that's calculated on the order as a whole rather than individually for each detail line. The order discount factors in any line item discounts. Accpac displays the calculated tax, as well as any prepayments and turn code discounts that apply. On the right side of the window, the total of any miscellaneous charges can be viewed, and a checkbox that allows miscellaneous charges to be included in any discount calculation. Items which include tax in their price show the tax amount in the included tax field, and the weight of all the items displays. Finally, at the lower right is where address labels for packing boxes can be instructed to print. If the order contains any miscellaneous charges or item type details where a quantity is entered in the Quantity Shipped field, on the Details tab, this Create Invoice button is available. Selecting the Create Invoice button allows the order to be shipped and invoiced at the same time, which means you can process an order, shipment, and invoice together in one step. If applicable, enter or accept the next sequential shipment and invoice number and the date the system should use for those transactions. If the Create Invoice button is not selected, the order can be recalled and edited later. It can be recalled using either the order entry icon here or the shipment entry icon to be shipped. When the contents of the order are complete, click the Post button to post the order. The system then prompts to print an order confirmation, or subsequently a packing slip and/or invoice if you are generating a shipment and invoice at the same time. The immediate printing of the order document is optional. All order documents can be printed at once at the end of the day by selecting the Form to Print from within the OE Forms icon.
Let's take a look at shipment entry.